lady called it Haji. That's why she just called it Haja, because her husband is called Abu. It's not true that it's under them. Even we can own such things, and we have the fuel here in Africa. Come to the right side. Let us stand as Ugandans. Let us stand as Africa. Let us stand as people who are independent. Let not the superpowers come and confuse us, because we shall become silent. You see, there are families in these countries whereby the human rights are not considered. The families are silent. They cannot speak up. Someone wants to educate his child, but he doesn't have the resources because he has been relying on the other person, the superpower. But now the superpower stepped down, and now the child cannot go any further. With a little, I rest my case here. Thank you.
Because if you want to increase for the youth, the other ones also will demand, and that will cause disparity in representation in parliament. Next one is equality representation. How do we help with this? It's not all about, my sister, it's not all about the numbers and the enjoyment as you think. It's all about the issues you articulate there. And the few members of parliament who are youth, who are in parliament, are actually doing the job effectively, very well, and we appreciate them for that. So you come in here to tell us the youth have been left out, the youth have been done this, they have done this, the youth are not represented, the youth are suffering this, the parish development model, the youth are benefiting from it. We have very many other avenues where the youth are benefiting from. What is the problem we have to solve now with the youth involvement in certain activities? Let's focus now on agriculture. The youth have refused to engage in agriculture and telling us they are very poor. If you don't want to work, who will work for you? You are suffering alone. So what we have to do now is only to strengthen their representation in parliament, but not increasing their numbers there. I still want to emphasize on what you raised, because you're re-echoing about it, about creativity and innovation. They are very creative people. Let me tell you, the Bagandas have a saying of Kalemagezi. Those old people who are in parliament are capable of reasoning for our country, are capable of doing whatever we want for our country. So don't tell us it's only the youth who have the capacity to think for our country. Even the old people who are there, go to the British Parliament and tell me the ratio of people who are in Parliament. You find that it's the only people who are there and they are representing the country effectively. So you cannot come and tell us that increasing their number in Parliament will actually solve the problem of the youth. It's not all about the numbers, it's not all about Parliament, it's all about the youth standing up and working for themselves. The youth adopting government projects, the youth coming up and saying no to laziness. It's the youth who are lazy and have failed to do what is required of them. And that's why they are continuing to suffer. So your suggestion of increasing their number in Parliament will actually solve nothing. And by the end of the day, I know you are going to concur with the government, with the opposition, and say that it's not all about the numbers. You have very many ministers, you have very many whatever things you have, but there's still poor service delivery. So Parliament is not the solution. Thank you. I beg to submit.
According to the second of the human rights embraced by the UN Charter, it states, everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in declaration without being disregarded on sex, language, age, color. Yes. Despite the above, we all agree as the resolution is going. We have a tiny fraction of the youth being represented at the parliamentary level, yes, which is true. But why are we not No, thank you. Why are we not giving the youth the chance? Yet, according to the human rights, they all have a right to the right of equality to be represented anywhere without being segregated of age, sex. So you are this
Point of information.
No, thank you. You are segregating them via their age, which is not right. Then, let me inform you that if you have a broom at home and it is very old, can't you buy a new one? If you have an environment, you need to stay in a clean environment. If you have an old broom, can't you buy a new one?
Point of information.
No, thank you.
Point of information.
No, thank you. That means if these people here, the elders are mob in parliament, why can't we give the chance to the youth, despite the fact that if they go away from parliament, who is to take over? It's these youth who are coming in to take over. Therefore, let's give them chance. And
Point of information.
for our country. You talked about the second speaker. My opponent talked about MPs in parliament. Talked about the youth here in agriculture work. How many members of parliament are doing agriculture work? It's rather they are just in parliament swindling the funds meant for the youth programs, rather than instead of implementing what they want supposed to be meant for. No, thank you. Parliament, as my second speaker came and talked about Parliament being for creativity, way for youth. Yes, it's there, but the youth have a tiny fraction. We all agree that you came and mentioned there are few members of Parliament who are in Parliament, but the bigger percentage of all the members of Parliament are elders, not the youths. If we give the youths this chance, it will help them to discover their hidden political talents. Someone will be having a new idea that will bring up development despite just being seated, based on only the old from the elderly. Why not give a chance to the youth? No, thank you. If we give the youth the chance also, it will help to fight stereotype that leadership is meant for elders. Yes, this is just blindfolding of the mind. If leadership is meant for elders, what if they die? Who is going to take over? Therefore, as the farmers of today's resolution, allow me to tell you that, and the mere fact that the youth programs have been effectively implemented, therefore, we call the need for the youth to be, for seats in Parliament to be reserved for the youth. I rest my case before that my comment.
I'm negating the motion which states that this House will reserve seats in Parliament for candidates under 30 years of age. First of all, before I go any further, the other speaker came here and said that my second speaker said leadership is meant for elders. But we did not say that. We say that politics is open. There is no need to reserve the seats. So one can contest for the position he or she wants as long as it's qualified. We did not say that leadership is meant for the all. So I think you will not listen properly. They said it will solve the problem it will solve these problems. But I believe you, the government, you already have plans ongoing to solve these problems. Like we have the parish development program, we have the youth livelihood program. Don't you think these programs will help facilitate that, will help solve the youth program? I wonder why you guys brought up those things, you as the government. Yeah, they say youth are creative, but don't you think the youth need time to develop their creative minds? Yeah, the youth are creative, but they need time. We should give them time so that by the time they are developed, like the Bible says, train up a child in the way he or she should grow. So that I believe that when we train, we as the opposition, we believe that when we train the youth, these youth as they are still young, as they grow up, they will develop into great leaders into which the country wants. And they came here and said, an old room, you shouldn't keep an old room simply because you brought in a new room. To be sincere, an old room knows all the corners of the house. You should first have to keep the old room, so that as the new room is doing its work, the old room is also there to guide the new room. That's why we believe that these youths should be few. And I wonder why the government brought, I wonder why the government brought in youth parliament. I wonder why the youth parliament is there.
We have been talking about a group, but if an old broom is completely old and cannot sweep,
Thank you very much. That's why you need to keep it so that the new broom will learn from the old broom. There is no way this youth will learn without the old. That's why the old people are there. And I don't know if you believe in the thing that says that what an old man can see while seated, a young man cannot see while standing. I don't know if the government also believes in that, because the purpose of this, it simply means that the youth need time, they need the guidance. That's why the olds are there. Hello?
You know that leaders are born but not made?
Yeah, exactly. Leaders are born. Yeah, they are born and not made. Yeah, you're right. Leaders are born and they are not made. But to be sincere, for a leader who is born should also be guided on how he or she should be. Because you will not simply tell me that leaders are just simply born. Yes, if you have produced a leader, yeah, he has been born. But if there is no one to guide that leader, how will that leader be able to be? To be sincere, I believe that everyone is born knowledgeable. Yes, we believe that everyone is born knowledgeable. But it's the environment that the person is living in to unleash the knowledge that person requires. And they brought in the problem of youth unemployment. I believe there are other areas where the youth can go and work in. Like we have the youth parliament, which they have not even come here to tell us what should be done to the youth parliament if we are increasing the number of seats in the parliament. I don't know why the youth parliament will now remain standing. And that's why we as the opposition, we believe that we have won this debate. And my second speaker came here and said it's not about numbers, but it's about the quality representation. If we go and dwell into the numbers, we should also dwell into the quality of representation that we shall gain from the government. The quality of representation that we shall gain from this government. Like if the youth, we only bring in people who have not passed into orientation, people who don't know the logic about the government, people who don't.
The first affirmer on the resolution that is clearly stated that this House supports the narrative that young people should be at the front line of the climate change. Let's go straight to the key terms. Narrative. A narrative is an ideology of a particular program. Activism refers to the efforts to promote, impede, direct, or intervene in environmental reform with the desire to make changes in society towards greater good, which is clearly in the resolution. This is what we are trying to attain. Climate change. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns mainly caused by human activities, especially the burning of fossil fuels. This definition clearly shows that climate change is as a result of human activities. And the major example of the human activities that I stated is the burning of fossil fuels. Frontline. Frontline means dealing directly with the most important part of a situation, especially in the role regarded as vital, in this case, to the environment. Our perimeter of today, ladies and gentlemen, is Uganda. And our house is NEMA, which NEMA has provided 1,000 seeds to every district to be planted yearly, and we believe that if the youth are the frontliners of such a project, then we shall be able to fight climate change in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you all agree with that? Let's go straight to the status quo. According to the population census of 2014 by the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, young people make up 70% of the general population in Uganda. That is a fact. It is therefore right for them to take up and be at the front line of this campaign because of these following reasons. Number one, the young people can be the eyes and the ears of the government. Number two, the young people have the greatest exposure to the environment. Number three, they can easily be mobilized and sensitize their fellows. Number four, young people are vigilant and can easily implement government programs. Before I go on to explain these views, allow me give you the effects of climate change, because we are clearly fighting something that is destroying humanity. Number one, drought. We all know what drought is, because once drought attacks all comes in the region, then you know very well the next thing that is happening will become famine, because the farmers will not be able to grow their crops. Number two, floods.
which is all clear to you. Famine, as I stated, and then finally landslides. Allow me to explain some of these views. Now, when I say that the young can be the eyes and the ears of the government, in simple terms, I'm trying to bring up the idea of saying the young can be the whistleblowers of the government, because these young are at the lowest. They are in the community, so they can be able to tell the government that so and so is practicing deforestation, so and so is practicing bush burning. This will help to fight this climate change. Number two, when I said that these young people have the greatest exposure to the environment, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that in the schools that we go to, we have the subjects that majorly teach about environmental conservation. For your own information, some of the subjects are agriculture, we have biology, and then we have geography. Let's go to the next one. They can easily be mobilized and sensitized fellows. This can be through a system of bandwagon, because we as the young people believe that when a fellow young person talks, we can all do what he says, because we believe in unity. We believe that as the youth, we can be able to do what has been failed by the government that has been in the situation before, because this we are clearly seeing that the government at the particular moment has completely failed to do away with this issue of climate change. And we as the young people know that this is because of effectiveness. So if the government, if we could be given a chance to get officers, to get representation in offices which handle environmental conservation, then we believe we shall be able to do it even faster than they have. I rest my case. Thank you.
The leader of opposition in the Republic of Uganda, as the scope states. If I go any further, I'm deeply stirred and feeling the pain inside me that tonight the proposition in the House says that people who are not influential in society should spearhead the fight against climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, the government said never provided seats to each district. However, to convince us, we want to know when was this? The other thing also, they say that young people are 70% of the population. Much of the 70% of the population, they are never influential. They also say young people can go ahead government programs. Uganda, for example, is a country that is dictatorial, and there is no young man that can come up and fight to go ahead government programs. Ladies and gentlemen, they told us agriculture, biology, and geography can help in schools, and yet for years we've had agriculture, biology, and geography in the schools, and yet we're seeing still the same effects of climate change in society. And still we say that these same students should go ahead and fight. Ladies, they also say when a fellow young person comes, we cannot be here. Tonight I can speak like this to tell you to join the opposition, but you can refuse. Therefore, I tell you the proposition that it's a matter of choice of who you're talking to, whether to go with you or not. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they gave us the scope of the debate. But it's so sad that they don't tell us what the debate is all about. Therefore, on the side of the opposition, we say that this debate is all about climate change activism, of the effects of climate change in society. And we are here to oppose that no, the young people should not avoid it. They are also going to tell us why we are having this debate. However, I'll tell you, on the side of the opposition, we are having this debate to oppose the resolution that they state that young people should go ahead and fight. They also want to tell us the problems, the motion. Maybe solve it. This motion, according to us, on the side of the opposition, was standing to uncover the politicians in the government that are failing to know the responsibilities of fighting climate change. Negative. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin with, I want to let you know that young people lack experience, of which they need the guidance of the elders, they need the guidance of people who have got experience like the ministers, the members of parliament, towards the activism. Allow me to bring you that young people lack strategy. Their mind is corrupted by things of the world. Therefore, being given the opportunity to go ahead, one, the question is, are they the main perpetrators of these acts? It is these very ministers that own companies that are going to drain wetlands to construct factories. It is them that are going to cut down the trees all in the name of lumbering and also exploitation of our mineral resources, exploitation of the wetlands, all in the name of creation of jobs for young people, and yet they are still bringing the negative effects of climate in society. So we're picking the proposition tonight says that the innocent young people should come and fight the war they have not started. There is a saying that says it's easier to start a war but difficult to end it. That is what the proposition is facing today. And that we are facing, we want that proof that young people are really capable. Because we believe that you, the proposition, we have the leader, the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, the government, chief whip, these are big gentlemen in government, big people in the government that should front the fight, not extending it to the young people that are still focusing to get their lives straight ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, we may speak and we may come and say we don't have an alternative policy. You know, we say that politicians, artists, and influential elites in society, like religious leaders, should be at the front line of the fight. Because politicians are influential and in the parliament they can air out views. We have artists, they can still be at the forefront of spreading the news of climate change activism. You have influential elites and religious leaders, they can communicate to the congregation the importance of living in a healthy environment. Therefore, the proposition tonight, you have not just understood the resolution, despite the fact that you got it. We as the opposition say, no, let it be these people that have got experience, these people that have got a strategy, like the ministries in government, the bodies like, we have bodies like NEMA. They shouldn't chase away their responsibilities from them. I request that you join the opposition. Thank you.
August House at large. Now we have a burden today. This house supports the narrative that young people should be at the front line of climate change activism. We as the government, we have come here and we have given us the bills that we are basing on to make the young people take up this activism movement. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, when the negators came here, they say that the young people have experience. But then you're saying that when the young people go to school, they learn subjects. Some of the subjects that they learn is agriculture, they learn SS and science at primary level, they learn biology, and at the end of the day, they're going to be equipped with knowledge, which knowledge they are going to bring it back at home. Maybe they are going to begin planting trees, and of which they have to use this knowledge in planting trees. For example, tree spacing. They can even come up with ideas of making manure. The manure they can use to manure these trees, and at the end of the day, these trees can be able to grow. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, they also told us that the young people have started and then they are corrupt. But how effective is this? You know, we don't have proof for this because the young people have not been given the chance to take a front line of this. So how can they come up and they beat the young people for being corrupt? Thank you very much. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, as the government, we are coming up to say that let the young people come and take up this thing because they are very vigilant. We know that they go to school, but at the end of the day, they come back for holidays and they also go for interns, which knowledge they can use when they are in internship. And when they are in internship, they also acquire more knowledge that they can come back with in the different communities and they can use that knowledge at the grassroots level. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, we are also saying that the young people can be able to mobilize and sensitize their fellow youth to come up with the programs that can bring about environmental conservation. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, now these are some of the programs that they can come up with. It's tree planting. You know, when I come up and speak to my fellow youth, you know what, youth? The future belongs unto us. We need a peaceful environment tomorrow. Let's come up with tree planting. They are going to listen to me, and at the end of the day, we shall be able to take that to the next level. Now we are seeing that these people already they get 70% of the total population of the country. They already learn numbers, which means they can be able to influence one another so that they can take a lead as far as environmental conservation is concerned. Thank you very much. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, the negators came in
called adult competence.
Adult competence?
Exactly.
Let me tell you, we have been having adults from time immemorial. They know what the environment, how important the environment is, but we are still having effects of climate change. What have they done? They have not done anything, and at the end of the day, they are not capable to take this lead. You're telling us about the politicians, you're telling us about the religious leaders, but these people, they are still around even as we speak, they are very, but they have not done anything. So dear ladies and gentlemen, how can we also right now allow them to take up this lead? Which means these people that you're talking about, they do not wish good for us as the youth, because the future belongs unto us, and for them they have already utilized their own future, and they are soon extinct. Their extinction is coming, so they do not wish